Meg, can you walk us through a timeline of events? If an emergency occurs, how would government and private organizations react? Take us inside the emergency response process.
Yeah, so certainly. So basically, an event would surface to a global operations center like the one I'm sitting in today via a number of methodologies. So I've got some media feeds behind me and some aggregated feeds that come in. And the first step really is to assess the situation. And from there, you should have a programatized way to approach how you go about these particular communications. So uh, you can't just have a, okay, missile attack, here's what we do. Hurricane, here's what we do. Because there's a whole range of incidents that could happen in between in terms of you can't predict where that active shooter is going to be. So you have to make sure your plans are very flexible. But you should have plans in place that are flexible enough, yet concise enough that you know exactly the steps you're going to take. So if we're in a GSOC and we get an important alert come in, the first thing to do is to get into your system where you have your checklist ready to go to execute your steps. Now, when it comes specifically to the communication portion, I always encourage that our customers have some sort of templated communication, because there's three things that I always want our customers to put out in their communication: what's happening, what I want you to do, and when I'll notify you again. Now, when we're talking about something short, like a government WIA notification, which is broadcast over the cell towers, we don't always have when to expect the next notification. But they should at least have those first two things in there. What we want you to do. The government actually did put out a good notification. They told you what was happening and what they wanted to do next. But where the failings happened in that particular situation was they didn't have a plan in place for pressing the wrong button. So we're really looking at a combination of things that they should have built safeguards in for. I mean, they really should have had a separate live and separate test mode, because in the test mode, that's when you can actually get the confidence to press that potential nuclear incoming button in the system without causing fear and panic in an entire state. Also building in the access controls, making it part of a process. You have to go through a whole stepped process. So going back to the Hawaii situation, it seems that the controls there were lacking in terms of, they could have done more practice and they could have had a better, stronger test system. Because while they did cancel that alert, so they stopped the broadcast, stopped emanating from the cell phone towers, and stopped broadcasting on television screens within a matter of 6 minutes. But where they didn't have something templated or planned was how to put out a retraction. And putting out a retraction to say that you made a mistake, that took, there's, estimates range between 35 and 40 minutes, which is a very long time to leave people in a limbo. Is there really a weapon about to land on my city, my town, my state? And I think that's where a lot of unnecessary fear and panic was left in the public. And that's where all companies and all government agencies need to make sure that they have a way to push out a message, but they also have a way to push out an update to keep people informed of the situation, even if it is a retraction.